Imagine you spend years building a brand and message you want people to hear. Imagine that message will help them gain confidence and be more fully themselves. Now imagine your message is blocked over and over until one day you wake up and the plug has been pulled on your entire platform. Years of work gone in an instant. On this episode of Queerly Us, we are talking with someone who had his entire YouTube channel deleted permanently. Let's find out what happened. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode. He's the creator of Your Gay Guyde, a gay travel project built on experiences, storytelling, and exploring places off the beaten path, with a focus on culture, nightlife, and cruising. Please welcome back to the show my friend and fellow content creator, Carlos Alves. Carlos.
Hello.
Is it okay I used your last name, or are you just like Madonna
It's fine,
and Cher? It's just Carlos. Okay.
I do Carlos Severo, Carlos Alves. You can call me by Carlos Severo. You can call me by Carlos Alves.
In this moment, how are you feeling about what happened?
Yeah. I'm okay, actually. I'm not going to say that I'm shaken or it kind of hit my structures, because it's not how I feel. It was a shock because it happened literally like as the first thing in the morning when you wake up, and the first thing the first thing that I do is like a ritual. So whenever I have a video that I uploaded on YouTube, so the first thing I would do in the morning is going to the YouTube studio, because whoever is a creator, we have another app that's called the YouTube Studio. And that's where you find, like the quantity of engagement, comments, and how successful your video is being, or so on and so forth. So that would be my first thing in the morning, after waking up. So I remember to go, and then I just got the email, and literally the email was your channel was deleted permanently. So
how does that make you feel when you read that line?
It was a shock. It was literally a shock, because I never had such success in any of my seasons. So since I started dividing the videos in seasons, last year I did season 2 with 8 videos. This year I went to film season 3 with another 8 videos. And since I started filming, I was very confident that this would be something so unique, so beautiful, that it would change the gay guide from this to this. I always had this in my mind, and I'm still pretty much vibrating on this. And when they released the first 3 videos, and I was having a huge success in terms of views and engagement, and people finding my channel, and a lot of people that find my channel that don't even know my channel, they just take a little bit what they see, and they presume, and they create monsters in the mind that's the way that I am presenting myself, without even checking a 3 years and a half history that came before I got to that point. So I always had in this mind, like, wow, the Gay Guyde channel after the season is going to be something huge. I always had this in my mind. So when I had my main platform, I can say, because I've started on YouTube. Instagram came later, TikTok came later, Patreon came this year. So I was primarily a YouTuber, and I would present myself as a YouTuber. I would never say influencer. I would always say I'm a YouTuber. Yeah. And now I'm like, I am.
I say content creator.
What I am.
Yeah.
And you don't realize, right? Like, you just, okay, you get the shock, and then you just go like, okay, that's not going to be the end. Probably you were the same. I know other content creators or YouTubers that we started everything from scratch, our own, no help, So I've been to this before. When they started the channel 3 years and a half ago, I was a guy with a dream. And I remember literally actually, what's the crazy thing, Patrick? It's when I had the Gay Guyde channel in my mind, because it happened in June, July 2022. I was just recovering from a monkeypox, so I had to stay three weeks quarantine. And during the quarantine, the name came in my mind. So all the things happened in quarantine. The Your Gay Guyde name came from a dream. So
Yeah.
I already had the project in my mind that I want to make a YouTube channel. I want to make videos about cruising for gay people. So I already had all this information. And I just, I was reading a lot of things, when you are in quarantine, I think when you are mentally fragile, and I was at the time, after COVID and all these things, it's when you search more like God or any spiritual help. So I was also reading Paulo Coelho at the time. I don't know if you ever read Paulo Coelho, but it's a very good author.
Okay.
And I think in one of his books, he said something like, whenever you want to ask God or whatever, or the spirit or whatever you call it, the answers come in dreams. So I remember to see that, like, get a book or a notebook, put next to your bedside table with a pencil, and ask before sleeping, like the question that you have. And I honestly, I swear to God, I remember to go before sleeping and saying, like, please, I need a strong name. I really need something that, will resonate with the things. And then I went to bed, and I remember, like, I literally woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, Your Gay Guyde. I took the notebook, I wrote it down. I went back to
God
sleep.
spoke to you.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And then I woke up.
Well, he could have warned you about your channel.
4 years later, like,
I mean, where was God then? Oh, sorry. Go on.
Actually, the video that made all this thing, I will get to this point, but yeah. And then, like, I was, okay, I got a good name. I like Your Gay Guyde. So I went, to search online, and there was another guy with Your Gay Guyde, not doing any content, but he bought the name, he had the rights of the name, and I was like,
so annoying.
Where is God? Where is God there?
Yeah.
Why you gave me a name I cannot use? And then that's when I have the idea of have the guy with a Y, Your Gay Guyde, so I could use the name.
Yeah.
So this happened exactly like in the same time, 4 years later, like when they was building the idea of the channel. So it was very interesting, and it came from a video. I would say that probably I was getting reports since I started this season. So when they released Gay Cruising Tulum, so was when I could see the comments of people that were kind of very aggressive, like in a way to say, like, you are portraying people in a sexual way. You are showing that we are just sexual machines. Because some people, I mean, like, why Madonna did all the work that she did in the 80s and 90s for us to go back to this kind of comments. There is no issue to have sexual desire. There is no issue to comment on this. It's a feeling, just as crying, just as loving, just as hate. Sexual desire is also that. So it's like there is no shame on that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I just feel like, Madonna, you should go back to to the activist that you were, and as strong as you used to be, because I think your message didn't work, especially for the gays. That they follow you.
Maybe it worked for us. It didn't work for maybe that platform that you were posting on, right?
Exactly. Or people that watched it, and some of them, they're like big fans of Madonna, and I was like, doesn't make sense. But anyway, it's not about them. So when I did Zipolite, which was so crazy, because like Zipolite was the third location that I did.
Okay.
I filmed 4 locations in Mexico, 4 locations in Brazil. Zipolite was the third one.
Before you go there, if people are meeting you for the first time, your channel is about traveling to destinations and showing the community where they can go out for the night, where they can go cruising.
Yeah. I mean, the name of the series that I have many series in my YouTube channel I had. So I had Uncover and Discover, that was mainly talking about history. I had the video vlog, which was just showing like me going around in the city and restaurants and this kind of stuff. And I had the Gay Cruising, which was the most successful one, which talks about cruising, but it's not only about cruising. So in this video, I would present the history of the place, the gay history of that city or that country, like how they managed to get where they are, because gay rights didn't appear like this. There were like loads of fights that came before.
So it's like a documentary style.
Yeah, it's like a document. It's literally like a guide. So I show the introduction, about a little bit of history of the place, then the gay rights and fights, then where to stay, best time to go, bars and clubs, and then I would touch cruising. So if I do a video of 20 minutes, cruising would be 4 minutes of this video, and then I would do the wrap up. And this time around, because it was a very hard moment for me to travel, so I was like facing a depression, really serious depression. And I was still like, I have to keep on going because I need to do the video. Like I need to deliver this.
Of course, yeah.
And so every end of a video, I would write a message that vibrated with me. Something very spiritual, a connection, or like, like if you go on the videos, it's on my Patreon now, you can go, and they have also on the shorts on my Instagram, you will see the end of those videos that, disconnect with the gay entire thing. And it's a way of me communicating with the viewer in a much deeper level. Okay, let's put now the gay guidance aside, take a little bit of the history of this community and these people, and try to understand us as persons, us as being, I want you to understand you. I want you to understand that you are perfect as the way you are. You are perfect that even if you get angry, you're perfect if you get sad, if you're perfect if you are in love all the time. So my idea was to understand and make people feel comfortable in their own skin. And during these 8 episodes, we would be like building up to get to something. So the first video I talk about believing the wind, because Tulum was a port for the Mayas, a very important port. So I was making like the kind of navigator, that they had to believe in the wind, where it's going to take. And then, and then the second one was like acknowledging the darkness in yourself. And this is nothing bad about you, because if you don't see darkness, you wouldn't be able to see the stars. So darkness is important. If you only see the daylight, we didn't even know that there were like whole constellations above our head.
Sure.
So that was also a concept. And then Zipolit, which was crazy because it was, I would tell Patrick, I know you're in Canada, but if you have the opportunity to go to Zipolit,
yes,
go to Zipolit.
Yeah, it's Mexico. In Mexico,
it's a life change.
Yeah,
when they say a life change, like you come out from that place a different person. A completely
it's not just a nude beach; it's like a community. No,
it's a nude beach. It's a village, so it's nothing that like if you go there, don't expect to see like very fancy hotels or buildings, or it's literally like a village, a beach village, very chilled. Yes, you can stay naked on the beach. A lot of people stay naked on the beach, and and there is
what makes it different or spiritually like so much?
I cannot explain why, but I think one of the reasons is like whenever you have to walk from one place to another, it's easier to do it on the beach.
Okay.
So for example, let's say that you go to a beach club that's more like towards the end, that's 15 minutes walk. If you walk through if you walk on the beach, is easier than going inside and turning,
sure
roads. So whatever you do there, you always end up going on the beach to go back home or to go to another place.
Okay.
So maybe because you're all the time doing that, you see the sunrise, you see the sunset, you see the stars, you see the full moon. You're always having that connection with the nature, and nature is always nature.
Yes.
No matter what.
This is a lot deeper than I thought this conversation was, and your videos were. But you brought up this video specifically. Is this the video that did it for you?
This is the video that got more like hate.
Okay.
Not the video itself. It was like the reels that I made on Instagram.
Okay.
Because of course the reels, they are
from
the
this
vibe.
video.
Yeah. So crazy enough, like the video that I was like thinking, and it was the hardest video for me to make because I had such beautiful time there in terms of spirituality and connecting to other people. Like all the people that I met there, they meant something to me. Not even one single person that I met there, they went like unseen after my trip. It's like you go there to find answers, and some people have the answers for your questions, and you have the answers for their questions, and somehow you connect, and it's a beautiful relationship. And you just forget how the world is constructed in terms of laws and stuff. And in Zipolit, this doesn't exist. You just leave. So there is this kind of freedom also, and in terms of sex as well. Like when you go to Playa do Amor, Patrick, Playa do Amor, as soon as it's first of all, the sunset's beautiful. It's a secluded beach. You have to
Yeah.
go up the hill and down. There's a bar there, and as soon as the lights go down, like literally you get the sunset, and by the time that you get the sunset, you already spoke to 1,000 people, and you're all naked. So when you get the darkness, people, the locals that own that bar, they put candles all around.
Yes.
All around. The only lights that you have is like the moonlight, if you have a full moon, the candle lights, and the stars. And then it's, you know this, have you seen Mean Girls? Yes, of course.
Am I gay?
Some people don't.
Well,
But you know the scene that she goes like the African part that she said, it looks like the Django in Africa, and everyone's like,
yeah.
That's how the cruising is there.
Yeah.
Literally. It's just one after the other. And because it's dark, you can't see the face, but you know, like I cannot see what you're doing in 10 meters away from me.
Sure.
And they don't care what you're doing. So there isn't that kind of, you know, Patrick is sucking 3 dicks there, you know, like you will not.
So, but it's one thing to be living that experience in person, but I'm wondering, what is it about your videos then specifically? Because you obviously weren't filming the sex on the beach and everything like that. So I'm wondering, what is it about, you're traveling to these beautiful places, you're having these wonderful experiences, you're exposing, you know, queer culture and life and cruising and history and everything. So what is it specifically for you, do you think, where YouTube was like, I know also that YouTube has a system. So you get a warning, you get a warning, you get a...
I had already a warning.
There's a 3-strike system also. I know about this because I cover similar topics to you. Did you get the warning signs leading?
I got one warning. Yes, I got one warning. Which one warning. The thing is, like I got the second warning from reports, because the topic that I talk and also the thumbnail, which my thumbnails are like nothing, is just me without t-shirt.
Yeah.
So you know,
so like, they cited your thumbnails specifically as a problem.
Yes, as a sexual how can I say, like stimulation or kind of provocative, but it's just a guy without a t-shirt, nothing else. But I think what made them delete, because when they do that, it's not about a warning or a video, it's about your entire content. So that's what I understood, at least, you know, that's the message that I got through. So they don't delete because you did something specifically, it's because the entire content. So they review your entire content. They would, I don't think they would delete you. If it's just because one thing that you did, and you know. But again, we are talking about cruising, you know, like even though you're using a slang, a gay slang, we are not saying like fucking outside. We are saying cruising. It is a kind of sexual content, you know, like, and I think when you get the reports, and loads of reports, because then they were not reporting on a video specifically that had Carlos with the dick out, because I didn't have those things in my video.
Sure, no,
you know, and you are a content creator. Before you even publish the video, we do our checks, you know, YouTube do the checks. And we wait for that until we can publish it. But I think through the reports, when they watch the content, even when they watch the content, they don't care if you're talking about gay history. They don't care if you're talking about spirituality. They care that, okay, this guy's talking about cruising. This guy's talking about sexual activity outside. This is illegal. I don't know what they have in mind. You know, but I knew when I got that message and I could appeal, and they said, like, we are going to review the entire content, I knew there was no way to get it back, because the content that we do, we are talking about sexual activity. And so it's a bit of homophobia, though, because they can exploit, I mean, they generally, like channels on YouTube, can exploit the woman's body from top to the bottom, the way that they want, boobies out, sexualize them as much as they can. But because we are talking about cruising, like walking in a jungle, because I've seen your videos, you're not with your butt out, shaking your things, and you know, you're just walking and talking about things. So you're not exploiting your body, but you know, like as many other channels, as many other singers that we see online, and nothing happened to them. But it is a little bit of homophobia, I think. I don't know. I cannot say in general, but I don't see the content as something concerning.
Homophobia, but it stems from misogyny also.
So exactly.
It's just about men call the shots, and it's okay to sexualize women, and they don't want to see men being sexualized or talking about sex in any sort of form or fashion.
Again, because I had a picture without a t-shirt that was seen as sexualization. You know, like...
And it's
And
not
I
clear
wasn't
across
like
the
this.
board.
Like,
Also, there is an appeal process. How transparent was that for you? Did you get anywhere with
there is
that?
no transparency. They don't say why.
Yeah.
They don't say why. They just say we checked. First of all, I didn't know what was the thing, the reason, because they don't say this is the reason why we are doing this. They just say like we saw sexual activity, exposure, la la la, and we decided to close your channel. You can appeal, la la la. And when you appeal, then you write your message. If you have like a Twitter message. So they even say like you have the right to say why we shouldn't delete your channel.
Right.
And then you have like 3 lines to write.
Right.
What can we write in 3 lines?
Put your case in 3 lines in 140 characters. Go. Right.
Just don't remember. I can't just.
Good
I
luck.
had so much feelings. Like for me, it's not even about the channel. It's about all the work that I put on it. It's about all the videos that I made. I had more than 60 locations in total.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't have all the videos backed up. So it's a lot of work that I lost. For me, when they said, I didn't even care much about them deleting my channel. I cared that they didn't give me the chance to download my stuff and keep it for me. So that was more. I think when they appealed, because I think again, the content that we do, we know where it's digging. I knew they wouldn't allow me to go back. Because if they are going to check the entire content, I know they are going to see that, like we are talking about cruising, and whoever reported, I don't know what they wrote on words. I don't know if they told cruising means sexual activity for gays outside. I don't know what the words that they put when they reported. But I knew they wouldn't get it back. But my concern, I think, when they appealed was more like I would love to be able to kind of get my stuff and download it.
Of course, at least.
But
can I have my stuff? Yeah.
It wasn't enough.
What you alluded to this a couple of times, that there was a reporting. So do you think that it was due to external people, like viewers watching it and being offended, that reported you to YouTube? Or do you think it was just an internal check that YouTube was doing? I mean, we don't know, obviously, because they didn't tell you. Right? But for you, do you feel like it was people sort of reporting?
It was definitely reports, because I had people in the comments saying, and they had people in the comments of YouTube saying they're going to report. Also Instagram. Some people came on my Instagram once the YouTube was deleted to make fun, like that's what you deserve, and then just kind of this kind of thing. Just
that's interesting.
Yeah. So I get some people that they just came on the private message. There is one that I save, actually, because I think it's a very beautiful one.
Nice one?
No, I saved one because there is a kind of reason on what he wrote, and I told you every end of my videos I'm kind of digging something like meaningful, and they want to use it.
Yeah.
So he wrote, your choices you make, I think he means the choices I make. The choices you make are what you deserve. Bye. And he blocked. And I do think like the choices we make is what we deserve. I do think like we have what we deserve. I super agree.
I disagree. That I feel like that statement is very everybody gets what they deserve, and I don't believe that. Do you believe billionaires deserve their wealth and fortunes? No.
For some reason, I do believe.
Do I deserve to be HIV positive? No.
It's a very deep topic, right? Like when we say I deserve to be HIV or I deserve to have my channel deleted, I don't know the outcome of this. I would just clean the camera because it's bugging me. They are going to delete you because I'm showing like some.
Oh no! You're showing your belly button.
Yeah, I'm showing my belly button.
No! A man with a belly button. We're supposed to be all Ken.
Don't report Patrick, please.
Please, thank you.
How is it? It's worse. It's not.
I didn't notice anything, to be honest. There we
go. So, for example, I will tell you one thing. Like the idea of the channel just got in the process of being made because I got monkeypox from a guy that I was making up when they went to Tel Aviv Pride. And actually, I was speaking to him those days ago because I was like very emotional.
Yeah.
And but if I didn't have monkeypox, which I hated, that was the second case in Malta. I had to be closed again in quarantine after COVID, after the COVID situation. I was freaking out mentally, melting mentally. But if that didn't happen, which the time I hated it, I was like, why me? But if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here talking with the nickname Your Gay Guyde. So I do believe that we have what we deserve, but I don't see this statement in a bad way. I don't see this statement like this guy came to me and said, you have what you deserve. I see this statement. Yes,
but that's how he meant it. That's how he meant it.
No, that's how he meant it. But I can take that and say, like,
sure,
I'm not going to stop from here. They're not going to stop me.
You're a very positive person. You're able to spin things around, and you're obviously a survivor.
I take the charcoal and I'm going to turn it into a diamond. Maybe it's time for change. And because I was so dedicated on YouTube, I couldn't see that. So now I'm working on other projects that probably, if the YouTube wasn't deleted, I was not going to be able to see on.
Which I want to talk about in a minute. But I want to ask you, before we get into like what's next for you and where we can find you and what your next projects are, I just want to ask you, like, hindsight is 2020. You can look back and see things clearly. Is there anything that you would change or have done differently?
No, I don't think, because I will tell you one thing, like, everything I did from, like, it sounds very like, the sounds very Disney kind of phrase, but everything that I did from my heart. Yeah. Especially this video specifically, I would never say that Zipolite would be the one that caused me trouble, because that was the one that I got more reports. If you go to my Instagram, you're going to see the negative comments heavily started on those ones. And it was the video that I was like, I told you, like, it was such a spiritual video. I just finished the video, sent to people, and the comments that I get from this video, it was just so beautiful. In many ways, like, wow, you made me connect. I felt the same. I couldn't explain. You managed to get the words out there. The same, like, all the nice comments that I got from this. The outcome and the experience I had there, I would never think in my life that would be the issue that would terminate my YouTube channel from reports. However, again, remember I told you will leave Zipolite in a different place. Maybe I had to leave the Zipolite video a different person, a different gay guide. Reinvention. It's time for reinvention.
Well, exactly. This is not the end of anything. I mean,
no,
it's just
they will never see my end.
It's a transition.
You know what is the funny thing, right, Patrick? Like, every single end of the videos, I told you I have a message. The Zipolite one, the Mexico City was look at the stars, because I wanted to talk about the darkness inside you, which is normal. And the Zipolite one is look within. And when I was already working with the Puerto Vallarta, which is my next one, the message that was vibrating was literally like, every end is a beginning. I'm not joking. Like, every end is a beginning. So it's funny enough, I am in this situation. So I got a door closed, but like, every end is a beginning.
Not everybody thinks that way, so that's going to serve you well, and obviously you're going to land on your feet and you're going to be okay. But not everybody can handle that, and I know there's creators that if their channel closed, they wouldn't be able to. What advice would you have then, as somebody who has gone through this experience of creating this channel, putting all of this effort, putting your heart, your soul into these videos, to have it taken down so instantaneously? Like you said, you woke up in the morning and there's an email saying that it's permanent. What advice then, maybe what you would have for...
To watch the end of all the videos that I did, so you could get the confidence to this one, because funny enough, I build up to this.
I would send to other creators that are doing something similar to you, not necessarily me that talks about cruising and stuff. I'm not talking about myself. Just generally, do you have like advice for content creators in general, that might be facing similar challenges?
Yeah, and I actually know some people that they got their Instagram deleted, or the Instagram they couldn't enter on the Instagram anymore, or the Twitter, or they had huge amount of followers, and it's hard to start over. I don't know. I cannot say what they can do. I can say what I usually do. So I am very Capricorn. I have this thing, like, I think we have a lot of people that love us and a lot of people that hate us. I will never allow whoever hates me to see me down. That's not an option for me. It's actually a gas that makes me drive 3 times more miles that I was driving before. So it's that's my first concept. So when I get that, I was like, you are gonna hear me roar, as Katy Perry say, like, you're gonna hear me roar. There is no other way. But what I kind of do, because I'm very Capricorn, so it's just like I have to think now, what is the next? Okay, this happened. Allow myself to cry. Allow myself to get lost, because I did. Last week
it's a loss.
I told my people that knew, not everyone knew. Listen, I will take this 4 days to just get lost, to whatever, just cry, get drunk, whatever. But from Monday, this is going to stop, because I have to reconstruct and I have to be fully present. But that's my way of dealing with things, not only with the channel, in general. I would say that, we always start from zero. If they are creators that started from zero, we know the process. We've been there. I mean, I remember to celebrate 100 views on my YouTube channel, on my video.
Right.
Literally on my Instagram. Wow, we had 100 views.
We forget about those things.
And we forget because then suddenly we are like, again, like the video that was deleted, in 4 days, it was like 25,000 views in 4 days. And because of that amount of success, I can call it success, if we forget that we used to celebrate 100 views, in 1 week, in 2 weeks. So whenever it's hard to restart over, especially when you get to a point that, things happen to you easily. But we've been there, go again, find a second path. And people that connect to you, they connect to you. They can put my channel down. They can, I don't know, like burn my all the posters and all the things on the internet they have about me. But people that like me, they will search for me. So they will find a way to find me back. And I think if you do something that I love, and I love doing my videos, like I love creating stuff. I love making videos. I love the process of doing the scripts, because again, what you see, I'm telling you that we're watching here, not Patrick, because he is a creator, but you that watch our videos, you don't have idea the amount of work that we put on this. Before even going to the place, you have to search. We have to do a research. Search. We read about it. We create a script. We talk to people over there to kind of prepare, for us to get there. We go there, we film. So in the same time that you're trying to have fun, you have to be concerned that this is my work. This is what, I can not just be going from party to party and forget that I want to show you.
You're always thinking. You're wearing, how many hats are you wearing? Because you're the on-screen talent. You're the writer. You're the director. You're the producer. You do the lighting, you do the sound, you do the editing. So
you cannot get lost. Like, you have to think like I cannot, get super drunk on the first day, because otherwise, how my face is going to look on the second and the third. So
it's the first day.
It's stupid things, but we get concerned on those. Like, I cannot go in the sun and just burn my skin, and then suddenly I'm like, I cannot walk the following day, because sometimes we have to film in 3 days, the content that you look and we create, and we made the script to look like we've been there 1 week. Sometimes we've been 2 days. Sometimes you cannot get the luxury to feel sick, to get a virus in the stomach. You have to
monkeypox again.
I get it before, but but and after that, once you leave the place, you have to rewatch the videos, because it's not like you leave and then you're going to work on the videos. When you do a season like me, I did 8 places one after the other, so I have to rewatch whatever I did to remember, all the things, and to start creating the flow, because a storytelling is not something that we create, and then let's just get the videos and put together. No, you have to watch the videos, and we have to create a storytelling. Otherwise, you that are watching are not going to be engaged on the video. So we have to make the videos flow in a way that you're going to start it and you're going to finish it. And editing, and again, research again.
All of it. If you had a team around you, it would be a different story.
It would be beautiful. And then once you finish, banners, thumbnail, reels,
marketing.
marketing. So it's like you have no idea the entire work that you put on
Yeah.
to make only one video. So it's my passion, honestly. Like this, I mean, like when you like something and you love something that you do, even if things like this happen, if I stop doing this because of that, I'm cutting a huge slice of Carlos, and I would not say Gay Guyde because Carlos loved doing what
Sure.
I do.
Well, you are. Gay
I would be 3 times more depressed probably.
Yeah.
So I cannot just stop like that.
So on that note, we're moving forward. What are your plans? What are you looking forward to? Where are you moving to?
So fuck, and I'm joking. cut this because they're going to put it down. It's I mean, like it hit me this week, so it was super recent. And another thing is like when you get to a level of success, or I would consider myself, I was quite big at the moment, so I was already like doing partnerships with brands. So it's a lot of work now to see like how I don't have the YouTube, which was my main channel, and I have a contract to follow. So how I can, like keep that rolling in a way that's going to be good for both of us. So it's I have to rethink on that first.
Because when you signed the contract, the assumption was that you had a YouTube channel.
Yes, and it's not going to be deleted in the next 2 years. Because when you make a video, I think the advantage of making a video on YouTube is like people will search for you in 2 years' time, and they're going to find your video, and the brand's going to be there.
Sure.
So that was the first thing. But you know what? I already had an idea before of turning Your Gay Guyde into a media kind of agency, meaning that is more like a agency of making videos, not only for me but for other people. So I always wanted to have a website to kind of gather all my content, which I don't have anymore, but to gather, like I just wanted like to make the Gay Guyde get out of this thing of saying I am a YouTuber to say I am a whole package. I'm not only a YouTuber. I am an ambassador. I am a content creator. I am an Instagram. I am an influencer. I am a marketing guy. I am a media because I edit my videos. I am a ally. I'm gay. So it's just transform it in a way that,
Hold on. You're gay?
Very.
Okay,
I know.
Stop recording right now.
I'm not gay. Let's say I'm a man that likes to sleep with other
who likes men.
Yeah, I like to sleep with other men. I mean, to
call it whatever you want.
Yeah, I let's say that I don't like men. I like something that they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So if I can understand, is it more like everything's going to be under an umbrella where you're? Is it more like a production company? Or
I would love to have like a production company. So funny enough, Patrick, like whenever from my first video when I created the Gay Guyde, and now I mean there are some videos that you can still see on my Patreon, but whenever I introduce myself, I never say, hi, I'm your Gay Guyde. I always say like, my name is Carlos Severo and I'm going to be your Gay Guyde for Greece, for New York or whatever. Because when I started back then, I always thought that Your Gay Guyde could be a brand that people could have like, how do you say this? The Gay Guyde could be anyone, It didn't need to be me. I could,
like
Marano, the angels. The angels of Victoria's Secret,
coming
the
to you
ambassadors
from Montreal or something.
Yeah, I'm Patrick, and I'm going to be your Gay Guyde in Montreal. So that was probably the first, and in not even one video you are going to see like, hi, I'm Carlos, your Gay Guyde. So hi, I'm Carlos, and I'm going to be your Gay Guyde for this video. So it's I always introduce myself on that. Of course, during the video, then I say like the Gay Guyde, but the first introduction, always was Carlos, I'm going to be your Gay Guyde.
Right.
So my idea is first to have a media company. And maybe through this media company create a YouTube channel, but not for the Gay Guyde, but to creators like us to have a second platform to create content and have our content also there in a way to protect. If something happened to you, then you have another platform that you can actually do things which is not related to you, because when YouTube block you, it's very clear that Patrick cannot have any account.
Yeah.
Carlos cannot have any account. So it's different when they have a media company where I work with different creators. So it's not about Carlos, it's not about Patrick. It's about an entire alliance of creators that are doing content, for this agency. I can still be an agency, a media agency, and run a project with you, even though you don't have a YouTube channel anymore. It doesn't matter. I'm paying you to do a work for me. So it's just, so I would like to have that. One thing that I realized, and I super recommend every single creator out there, YouTube, as much as you give the popularity, and it's a lot of popularity, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't YouTube at all.
Yeah.
But we don't make money from YouTube. They pay ridiculous amounts.
I use it as a marketing platform mostly.
Exactly.
For other things.
Most of the, what makes me sad, and I'm going to be very honest to you. Like, I usually use my YouTube money that I make, because guys, it's like 200 euros, 300 euros. That's what we make.
It's nothing
monthly from YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was having more than 100 or 150,000 views monthly. Yeah. So with that, I was making $300.
And there's no accountability. There's no way to check either. You just money. There's no way for you to verify. It's whatever they say you're getting.
Whatever they say.
Hold them accountable, is there?
Yeah. So like, for example, this month that I was like on the top of the world, I was making around 300 euros. So that 300 euros I'm not going to make anymore. Like,
right.
My sad thing was, since I started the Gay Guyde channel, and this, I don't know if I did in our first interview. I spoke about this in our first interview, but I used to be very friends and close friends with NGO and a theater group in Porto Alegre, my hometown, that was made and run by transsexual women. Okay. And when they started creating the channel, because Porto Alegre has no shelter for trans people at all, even now. So I'm talking 4 years later, they still don't have a shelter for homeless trans people. So they never go to those shelters because it's a dangerous place. They, like, Brazil is a country that kills more transsexual people in the world for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
So when I started the Gay Guyde channel, I always said you can interview whoever was with me in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end, that after 5 years, I would get so big that I would open my own NGO for transsexual people. And I would run it with my money. Oh. This happened on my 3 years and a half. I still have 1 year and a half to go. So that's another thing why people will not see me just stopping anything, because that was the promise that I did when they started the channel.
Carlos.
Most of the money that I made from YouTube, they are always sent to NGOs. This money that we were collecting now would go to Venezuelan victims of the earthquake. And I will tell you, like, this actually makes me super angry, because these people that do this kind of thing, they don't move one single finger to help any of us in the community. Yeah. And they just think that they have the power to go and do whatever just by the way that they think things are, because they are so lazy to check whatever work we do before. Mm-hmm. And for example, the money of this, the cash that was making from YouTube would be I forgot the word, but it would be combined with the money, the sales of my ebooks for July, and I would be sending to the NGOs in Venezuela that they are helping the victims from the earthquake. And because of this, I was going to send 500 euros, and now I'm going to send maybe 170 euros because we didn't manage to get 200. That's where I get angry. I don't get angry because my YouTube channel was deleted. I get angry because a lot of people throughout this 3 years and a half, and I can tell at least 3 or 4 NGOs that have been helped, and I don't need to. I never came on my Instagram to say oh, look how nice I am, I'm helping people. No. I don't need that.
I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah, I always did. But because for me, I'm 250 euros. Let's be honest, it doesn't make difference on our life, but it makes difference in somebody's life. I used to help an NGO for kids that they school people in Lebanon. 200 euros for them, it's a lot of money. 300 euros for the victims in Venezuela, it's a lot of money. So that's what makes me angry, not to have that platform to keep on doing this track. I will find another way, like
yeah.
I will do it on another way.
But to your point, it's like, YouTube doesn't care about that sort of thing. They're just pulling the plug on you, and they don't see the good work that you were doing, where you were sending the money.
And the help that people get, because they don't watch the videos. They don't know, like, like that other people are being, like, helped from the work that we do. And that's where it irritates me, because these people, they are just trolls in a way that I would love that everyone that did it and is listening to this at least go and make a donation and help, and try to correct the impact that you made, and like
send me the link. You send me the link. I'll put the link in the description below, so people can go to, I suppose, a website, and they can contribute and
they can
help
do the donation,
way,
because because now, like, at least if you got what you want, but at least just be gentle and get some of the money that you have and donate to people that really need, because like, you just kind of vanish 300 euros that would go there. That's I will tell you, and you see through the conversation, I had no problem to talk about this, and when we touched those bases, it kind of irritates me for that reason. But again, I will find another way. I think whatever I receive, I have to contribute somehow. So whatever I get, I try to give back in a way, because whatever I had, it was given to me. The love, the hate.
So big plans for the future, but right now, if somebody wants to, what are your short-term goals? Are you mentioned something about Patreon?
I have HDD, so I always change the topic. I was saying, if you are a creator, go and start your Patreon right now. And I'm telling you this, Patreon, I'm telling you this because I've had YouTube for 3.5 years. I was speaking to a creator friend of mine yesterday. Since I started Patreon in February. I couldn't upload much, but since I started making exclusive content for Patreon, I managed to get like double, like what I made 3 months on YouTube, I managed to get on the first month on my Patreon when they started, literally, like.
Well, because Patreon. So for those that don't know, Patreon, you can see it for free. There's a free part, but
I have free content
behind a paywall as well, with tiers, and people can join at different membership levels, right?
So I get, like, for example, what I was doing this for Patreon, like my videos, as I told you, they were divided like best place to go, best time, where to stay, best bars and clubs, cruising. I cannot put in a video all the things that I filmed in the cruising. I have to make, since I have other topics to talk about, and the video cannot stay longer than 22 minutes sometimes, because otherwise people will not watch. Each topic had to have 4 minutes. So there are loads of things that I wouldn't even be able to put there, and I would love to, because otherwise it would get too long. But for Patreon, for example, I had so many nice experiencing parties, so I'm going to take you to one of them, and I'm going to take you to another one. Then you pay a little bit more, and you have the access to this content. And the cruising, which I love, I could actually have
Patreon is fine with all that content, cruising. Right?
Yeah, you cannot have like nudity, but you can.
It's not a porn site.
It's not like OnlyFans, but I would say that Patreon is very similar to OnlyFans, but without the pornography. Is the OnlyFans for creators? When you want to give something.
It's what OnlyFans started as.
It started like this,
and then it became what it is.
It became what it is. I don't know if you can actually turn OnlyFans on that anymore, because I have loads of guys that do OnlyFans, and the guy that we don't know if I gave monkeypox to him or he gave monkeypox to me. It's still a taboo for us. Who gave to who? He does OnlyFans. He's on the top 1% creators of OnlyFans for gays.
Oh wow!
So he's really big. He's really big. And he was telling me, like, the problem of OnlyFans, you cannot have content the way that we do, because if you film more people, OnlyFans ask you to tag them.
Yes, that's right.
So for example, for me, for the type of content that I'm doing on Patreon, it wouldn't work. Because I don't know the people, I don't know who I'm dealing with. But Yeah,
No, because
but
OnlyFans
my
they need to
main
do like
socials. Yeah, sorry, Patrick. My
no, I
main
was going to say
social.
because on OnlyFans they have to do like age verification and stuff because they're assuming that there's going to be sexual content on there. I guess.
I have no idea how it works, but
Yeah.
my friend was actually he tried to convince me 3 years ago when they started the YouTube. Like we traveled together for a month. We did some videos together,
Yeah.
but I never released it because he was like, "You have to do OnlyFans. You are just." At the time, I used to work in a company, and I were creating projects for this company, and he was like, "You are making money for this company that you're paying so little." It was almost a Karl Marx to me.
Yeah.
They are paying you nothing. They're making lots of money with your ideas, and you should do it. You should go to OnlyFans, so you're making your own money, so all that thing, and also seeing how much money he makes. But again, he is top 1%. We don't start like, let's start my OnlyFans. Hey, top 1%.
No, it doesn't start it. I mean, you need to get monkey
exactly,
and then you get 1%.
But from seeing that, it looked so beautiful.
Yeah.
But I never managed to get. I mean, it's not for me. It's not.
That's not for you. So in the short term, people can find you on Patreon, which I'm going to link.
They can find me on my Instagram, Your Gay Guyde. They can
Patreon.
find me on X. Because actually X is giving me a lot of views that I was, wow, why I didn't invest on this before.
Yeah.
And on my Patreon, which is also connected, it's on the bio of my Instagram, Your Gay Guyde. So whoever is coming to ask me what happened to my YouTube channel and where to find my videos, unfortunately, we cannot find all the videos that I had. But the videos that I managed to save, which is the season 2 and the season 3 of my gay cruising series, they are going to be available for free on my Patreon, and over there you're going to find loads of extra content, fun content. You are going to literally feel like you're partying with me, that you're fucking with me, that you are doing whatever with me, because that's the idea of the extra videos, to kind of take the viewer and connect like we are doing this together.
I know there's only good things for you in the future. I appreciate you coming on Queerly Us today and chatting with us. I know you haven't been through something easy, but you have the right attitude, and I know that only good things for you in the future. So
you know what, how Rihanna say, like they can never put a good girl or a bad girl down.
They can't put you down. Thank you so much. We'll do this again. Come back on the show and we'll talk soon. Okay?
Yes, and thanks so much for having me, for asking to be here and to allowing me to be here to talk about this in this great platform. That's we have a lot of similar viewers, and I think whenever we do such stuff like this, we combine forces. We get whoever come to this video that we're searching Your Gay Guyde because of my content. I'm so glad that you're meeting Patrick, because he does a very similar content as I do, or I used to do. So follow him now, watch his content on YouTube. We can still go on Patreon and find my content, but please, he is a really good guy, and he is going to take you to the cruisings on the YouTube. So you have I'm passing my torch.
We're all in this together. We're all in this together.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. For the rest of you, I'll see you in the next episode of Queerly Us.